Speaking of earbuds, Nothing has a new pair of earbuds. Nothing Ear 3. And you see the case is metal now, and it's got a button and a microphone next to the USB-C. And the buds look pretty similar, although they do have a little bit of a metal thing inside. They still have the transparency in the back. You can see the components and stuff. The buds are pretty much identical in shape, so very much like the AirPods. And as you can see, the case still has that little indent for your finger there, and you can turn it into a fidget spinner. The back is plastic white. Yeah, those are the Nothing Ear 3.
Okay, so what does the case do? What does that feature?
I still have to try. I'm still trying to figure out. So, if you don't have a Nothing phone, the case lets you relay the microphone from the case to the earbuds to your phone as a microphone you place on the table in front of a group of people. So, for example, or that you can hold like this, right, and talk into, and so basically I haven't tested it yet because I'm mostly focused on listening to music so far. But what I understand is that if you push the button while you hold it down, if your earbuds are inserted and you're on a normal non-nothing phone, like a normal phone, the microphone here takes over the microphones and the buds for whatever reason. So you can speak into it. But you can also lock it to be on by double tapping. So then you can put it down and it stays on. And then you click on it again to turn it off. So you could have like two people talking, and you can take one of the earbuds out at this point too, right? So it can be used kind of like as a potentially, they say that it works with some of the camera apps like Blackmagic and stuff. So you could potentially use that as a microphone for recording audio, but it's Bluetooth, so there might be some latency. And I have to establish how good the sound quality is on this. I haven't tried it yet. Because
I actually think that's a great idea. The number of people,
great idea, but the problem is how is it implemented? Because right now there's a relay. It's Bluetooth to the earbuds to the phone.
Okay.
And the other concern I have is I'm not sure if you're wearing AirPods or any earbud right now, because of the noise canceling, when you're in a voice call, right? Because of noise canceling it does, or rather the, removal of exterior noise to focus on your voice, the sound quality of the voice is optimized for voice. It's not hi-fi, right? Mm-hmm. When you're doing voiceover, you want something that sounds like hi-fi. So I'm not sure this microphone sounds better, and I have to test that. Because if they say compare with like the Blackmagic app, I think the idea here is that you can use it for creators as one of those, speak into mics. Like a wireless mic, basically like a DJI or a Rode, right? Which is cool. If that's actually what it does when I test it. But right now, I don't know, And then if you have a Nothing phone and you use Essential Space on your Nothing phone, you have it enabled, you can actually have the button trigger one of those AI recordings, right? Like it replaces the button and the microphone on your phone, that essential key that they have on the Nothing phone. So I think it's click once and it does a screenshot of whatever's on your screen, and you can talk and it'll take a note. I think either that or you hold it down. I can't remember. This is the exact same process, but as long as you have your earbuds in your ear and you have this in your hand, you can activate. You can also activate it from your earbuds as well. That's always been a thing. So
nice. I think that's great. Like if it is exactly what you described, I think even if the quality of the mic isn't up to DJI or Rode lav mic quality, just having an all-in-one where you can leverage the earbuds you already own as something to put in front of your mouth or to do a quick interview. That's basically TikTok today, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's very smart. I need to figure out the implementation. And because I've been focusing on this, right now I'm stuck on the sound quality. They don't sound great.
Okay.
I can't get past that. It's annoying. I've been tuning the EQ for days. And look, let me rephrase it. They sound fine. Some people are going to love them. They're very bass heavy, very boomy, just like the headphones were actually. Did you ever try the headphones?
No, I haven't.
Tuned by KEF, famous British sound speaker manufacturer. That Jay should not have done that. I mean, it's not Kev's fault. I think it's just they wanted to slap a label on there like Hasselblad in the early days before it got good, or Leica or Zeiss. But eventually it got good, so I want to give it time. But the headphones can be rescued with EQ. They're just a little bass heavy, and that's just because people like it tuned that way these days, I think. But this, I can't figure out the EQ curve to save. It's so boomy in the bass. No matter what I do, the EQ doesn't let you go lower enough to do it, to get rid of it. So you still have that boominess no matter what. Even if you crank like everything below 500 hertz down, you still get super boominess. And then the treble is kind of emphasized in this kind of unpleasant way. And I've also had to tune that a bit, but I'm just not happy with the result. And it's never taken, the other headphones that were like that recently that I was like, I can't tune these. It's pissing me off. The Sony WH-XM6s. I don't know why. I have the 5s, I have the 4s, I have the 3s. I never had any problems tuning those. They have slightly different EQ. From the 3 to 4, it's minor change. 4 to 5 the 5 sound way better than the 4s, and you can get an EQ curve that works. 6s, I'm thinking they should be better or similar to the 5s, and they're indeed similar to the 5s. But then when I try to tune the EQ, I'm not getting there. I'm also getting some harsh high end out of them. I was able to master the bass on the XM6s, but the high end is something off there. And then these high end is off, bass is too heavy. It's just like, I'm like, come on, guys, you had a process for making good earbuds. Like the ANC also is very disappointing. It's barely better than the previous gen. I had on the previous earbuds from Nothing, the Ear 1, the Ear 2, well, they're never called that. They're called Ear. The Ear 2, then the Ear, because this is Gen 4, really, technically. They've had the original Ear 1, which are just Ear. Then there's Ear 2. And then they had, didn't they have? Yeah, they had Ear, which was Gen 3, which came out alongside Ear A. Those two, the Ear A and the Ear, the Gen 3 Ear, were my favorite. The EQ on those was sublime out of the box. I just had to tune it just a little bit, and they were great. The ANC was solid. In fact, I felt that the ANC was better on the A, especially wind resistance. Like if you're walking and it's windy outside, somehow the A's were better than the more expensive ones. And also I have the yellow Ear A, which are really dope. These are technically the 4 gen. And I don't know what they did. And it doesn't say KEF on it anywhere, so I don't think it's that. But it's like they kind of lost the plot. And I don't know. I'm annoyed. Anyway, the other thing I quickly want to say before I know, because you have some things to say about that. I don't know if which you have. Do you have the 2nd gen Ear? Because they're not my favorite. If you have the 3rd gen that came out with the Ear A,
that's what I have.
That's what you have. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be disappointed with these, I think. But the case is metal, which is really nice. The design, everything's beautiful. Battery life's better. La la la. They still don't have the swipe for volume, which I thought for sure they would do. OnePlus is doing it on their mid-range buds now. Like Apple's done it forever. Samsung's doing it. Why? Why don't we have progress? What are your thoughts on Nothing?
It's the company itself is confusing.
Well, yeah.
Me. And that, I think, bleeds into the products that it launches, right? I think a similar reception happened with the new Nothing Phone 3, right? Yeah. People were decrying the fact that it changed its glyphs and moved away from that. I think as a company that has a very limited budget, it has a very design-first approach. It's got very few options to in which to innovate, right? It has to make some decisions every time it releases a new product, how they're going to market it. And in this one in particular, I wouldn't be surprised if they lean into the creator first side of things, right?
Yeah.
Your AirPods can't do this, right?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on quality, which is what they were really leaning on in previous generations, but were bested by Sennheiser and Bose and Sony to some extent. I think it's not a competitive place And also, it's not sexy, right? You can't telling people that your tiny little Bluetooth earbuds sound slightly better than your competitors is not good marketing.
But here's the thing: I don't think they ever said that. I always felt the Nothing Buds, not the first one, the second one maybe a bit, but those two that came out at the same time, the Ear A and the Ear 3 that were just called Ear, were like, wow, like all of a sudden, like, I mean, they have matured. This is a really solid, they're up there with the best at a cheaper price. Now, they were missing features. They didn't have the Type 2 volume. They didn't have that. Like, I'm okay I'm accepting that because I'm like, the sound is great. They never advertised the sound though. They always said they were trying to be competitive, but it just seemed to be like a nice little side effect, inside the audiophile circles. Hey, Nothing Buds, pretty cool. In the same way as I think the OnePlus Buds, especially their Pros, especially the 3. I think the OnePlus Buds Pro 3 right now are today my favorite earbuds that I have. I have 2 pairs, in fact. I have the blue and the white. And they're amazing. They have great ANC. They have, lovely sound out of the box. Slight tuning makes them even slightly better. They have great battery life. They have the clickable, like pressable stems, just like Samsung has and Apple has. They have the volume slider thing, like where you tap capacitive slider thing. And they cost much less than the Samsung and Apple Buds. They're absolutely 100%. The only thing missing is LDAC. They have LHDC, which, not many phones have, unfortunately, which is a bit of a hassle. These have LDAC, which is nice. The Nothings always have LDAC. So to me, it's like, that was the peak. And since then, this was last summer. And since the OnePlus Buds Pro 3, I haven't had a pair of earbuds land that I felt like was better. And even the OnePlus Buds 4, which are not Pro, granted, there's probably a Pro pair in the works. I had to do a lot of tuning to get them to sound right, but I finally nailed that. And they have amazing ANC, the OnePlus Buds 4, the best ANC I've ever had on any earbuds.
Even though they're technically cheaper and lower.
So it's funny because they have no wireless charging. They feel cheaper in hand. The case is looking cheaper, lighter. The Buds do not have the squeeze, but they do have the tap for playback and pausing. But they do have the volume sliding capacitive thing, which is interesting. So it's like they definitely are good because they have good ANC, good sound once they're tuned, and have the volume adjustment by capacitive thing. But they're definitely more affordable in the Pros. So they were like my first, where I was like, okay, I can see where they're going with this. But then Nothing headphones came out, and I was like, they're going to be amazing, and they were okay, but they needed a lot of tuning to be great, and also they're heavy, and comfort on them is ANC is, And then the Sonys came out, and I'm like, sure, the headphones, right? The WHM XM6. And I'm like, okay, these are going to be amazing. It took me a while to get a review in it. Now I finally have one. And I was like, oh, I'm having a hard time tuning these. Why is that? How's that possible? Because they're so close to the XM5s in sound signature. Why can't I tune them right? And and then people have problems with the mechanics of them. They seem to be fragile. That they're foldable again, which is great. But they seem to be a little weak in terms of like the strength, right, of the hinge. Whereas the XM4s were like bulletproof, basically. So it's weird. And then these come into my inbox, and I'm like, okay, earbuds from Nothing. This is going to be awesome. And I think that's the problem. I went into it going like, yeah, they added a mic. It's going to be cool, but where's the rest of it, right? The other problem with these that I find really annoying, have you had this on some earbuds are worse than others, but microphonics. Just moving my head around with the earbuds inserted.
No.
Like, I'm literally getting a ton of microphonics on these earbuds. Like, some are worse than others. Usually I get it when I'm just walking, step, boom,
yeah.
Boom, boom. That's acceptable if it's not too strong. With this, it's like every time they come a step, my music basically fades away because it's so strong, the microphonics on it. And it's not the music literally fading away. It's my ears being overwhelmed by the thunk of my foot hitting the ground through the earbuds. Microphonics are insane on these. And I've noticed that pulling them away from my ear, like making them fit in my ear at an angle a bit more, I still get the right sound, the right ANC, but then I get less microphonics. The fact that I have to do that adjustment every time is really weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, I just don't understand what happened here. But like, they were nailing it, and now I'm just gonna want to go back to my old ear and just call it a day and put these in a drawer somewhere. Unless this microphone button thing, that talk button there, ends up
I'm
being a
guessing
feature.
that you will be able to EQ this to
I
where
will
you like
figure
them.
it out. I hope.
I have
But
faith in you.
such a waste of time. Shouldn't have to do this. Sorry, I got other things to deal with, like the iPhones. Before we jump into the iPhones, look, I just want to be clear. I don't think these are bad earbuds. Some people are going to love this tuning out of the box. They have decent ANC. They have this cool feature. They have better battery life. They're reasonably priced. They look great. You know, it's just I was expecting more, and
Yeah.
the fact that I'm having a hard time tuning them is frustrating. And then the microphonics is frustrating, and the general fact that the few last audio devices I've reviewed or had come in, I felt like they were not hitting the mark in terms of sound or features. Like the fact that there's no volume capacitive on this when everyone else has done it. Like I was like, for sure, because it has a squeeze the stem. Like they've had to squeeze the stem on the nothings for quite a while. So I thought,
Mhm.
okay, that maybe they can just add it, especially since if you see the buds here, there's like a silver strip now. You see that?
Mm.
Right? So I'm thinking maybe they put a sensor there. No, nothing. So a little bummed, but that's just me. I was high expectations. So